Welcome back. Janelle Perez is running for the state Senate in a newly redrawn district in Miami-Dade County. She may not be well known, but is seen as a potential star within the Democratic Party. The daughter of Cuban immigrants, she spent time in Washington working for Republican Congresswoman Ileana Ross-Layton on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. I start by asking her why she wanted to get into politics.
I'm the daughter of Cuban exiles. I'm a mom, I'm a cancer survivor, and I'm a small business owner. I was 28 years old when I was diagnosed with a stage 4, what was supposed to be an incurable cancer. I know what it's like to receive a $30,000 bill in the mail and it recovers, it's for your health care, and you not know what to do for it with it. I've seen when I would go into the waiting room to get my chemotherapy, when I'd go in at 7 in the morning, I'd see the same people sitting in the waiting room when I'd leave the CTU at 4 p.m. I want everyone to have access to healthcare. I think that, everybody deserves to be able to seek treatment for anything that happens to them and not worry that they're going to go bankrupt. And I know what it's like to fight for your life. And that same fight and that passion, I want to take that fight to Tallahassee.
And what is your prognosis today? How are you?
So when I was 28 in 2015, I was diagnosed with a stage 4 follicular lymphoma and large B-cell lymphoma. I did about 3 months of R-CHOP, which was a chemo regimen that I did, and then 2.5 years of a maintenance chemo called rituximab. And I had a port that I still have the scar in. I actually got it removed maybe like 2 years ago. And I hit that 5-year mark of being cancer-free. So maybe it'll come back one day, maybe it won't, but I feel like that's the same risk for any cancer survivor. You're always going to live with the fear of it coming back. So for me, I just, I live an extremely happy life and doing the things that I love. And I live every single day really like if it's my last, and I appreciate every minute that I have.
So why clutter your life with politics then?
Because I don't know, I'm sure a lot of parents watch this. Your kids are your everything. And I had a daughter, they told me that I would never be able to have kids after the chemo that I did. We had a little girl 2 years after my chemo treatment, and that changed my life. It really made me realize like the political climate that we're in right now. I don't remember growing up and it being this divided. It's like respect went out the window. I can't leave this world, whether it be 15 years from now or 30 years from now. I cannot leave this world without saying that I tried and that I tried to make it better for my kids and their generation. And that's why I'm doing this, because I think in Florida, we deserve better.
The governor and the Republican legislature has refused to even consider expanding Medicaid. I'm taking from your answer that you would want to expand Medicaid.
The state of Florida could get up to $4.4 billion in increased federal Medicaid funding each year with expansion. And again, this is something that I remind Floridians and folks when I'm knocking on doors. We are already paying for this in our federal tax dollars. This isn't an increase in your taxes. And for the first 2 years of expansion, the American Rescue Plan would add approximately $1.2 billion on top of that as an incentive payments for expanding. It's a no-brainer to me. Anyone who has insurance, when they go to the hospital, they have to pay a $2,000 tax to cover the uninsured. And I'm a small business owner. We have to provide benefits to our plans, to our employees. When the small business community is not, I don't want to say burdened, but when they are responsible for providing benefits and healthcare benefits to their staff, it makes it harder for them to conduct business and be a profitable business. I think with Medicaid expansion, we would also be supporting our small business community, because a lot more of us and a lot more of our employees would be able to have access to Medicaid. I think there's a lot of things that we can do when I get to Tallahassee, and I'm uniquely qualified to sit down at the table and have these meaningful conversations, because our family business and what we actually do is in health insurance. We own a Medicare HMO company that provides services here in Miami-Dade County. So when I win, I will be the first health insurance business owner up in Tallahassee, being able to have these meaningful conversations, because we haven't had that yet. And I've also been a cancer survivor who received those bills. So I've seen both sides of the healthcare spectrum, I guess.
You know, there was a lot of debate about parental rights in education during the last legislative session, and that being used as a way of sort of blocking teachers from teaching certain things. Give me your philosophy when it comes to what the state should impose on teachers and where parents fit into the mix.
So, you know, for me, I'm a parent, and I care about what happens when my daughter goes to school. And you know, this legislation was called the Parental Rights Bill. For me, I want to, when I get to Tallahassee, the kind of conversations that I want to have about our children being dropped off at school are about the fact that when she was in pre-K4, my 5-year-old learned to hide underneath a desk because there's an active shooter in the school before she was even taught how to read. That is, as a parent, probably one of the scariest thoughts that can ever cross your mind. And when it comes to teachers, I mean, Florida, our teacher pay is $10,000 less than the national average. And we're the 3rd largest school district in the country. That's not acceptable. I'm knocking on doors every single day, and I can't tell you how many teachers whose doors I've knocked on who've told me, if they don't increase teacher salary next year, I'm leaving the state of Florida because I can't afford to live here anymore. This is a serious problem.
Chevron Jones is the only openly gay state senator. You're not running as the gay candidate. I understand that. I respect that. You haven't mentioned the fact that you're gay once during this interview. But
it shouldn't be important.
But it does come into play in terms of, you know, we saw Chev Jones try to make his colleagues understand and fall short.
Yes.
To what extent? I guess that's where, you know, obviously you're the sum of everything, whether it's, you know, the fact that you're the daughter of Cuban immigrants, a small business owner, a cancer survivor. You're also gay.
And I happen to be gay. Yeah. And it's something, I mean, it's something I'm incredibly proud of. You know, mine and my wife's story of us coming together, of my conservative family, you know, accepting us, the fact that I told my mom and dad my truth the exact same day that I got diagnosed with cancer. I literally had to think that I was dying in order to tell them my truth, tell them that I was gay. You know, I'm proud of what my family has gone through, and what we've come out as. My wife and I got married in my parents' front lawn. And my parents were very conservative. My value as a person, as a businesswoman, as a mom, and as a cancer survivor has nothing to do with who I'm married to and who I love. But it has everything to do with the kind of people I'm always going to fight for. And I'm always going to fight for the marginalized people in our community. And I'm always going to keep them in mind when some of this legislation comes before us on the committee. And there are so many of my Democratic colleagues that are not LGBTQ that will fight alongside me and Chev, and will stand beside us when this stuff happens. So yeah, it is going to be something where these legislators are going to have to look in our faces when they make these decisions. And now they're not just going to have to look at mine, but they're going to have to look at my 2 little girls when they make these decisions. When they're hurting, The fact that, you know, my daughter might not feel so comfortable and safe when she starts school in kindergarten, and her teacher might not, you know what to do because the law is written so broadly and poorly that the teacher might not know what to do when my daughter stands in front of the class with a picture of her two mommies. Is she going to scurry my daughter off because she's afraid that she could get sued or the school could get sued? Or is she going to be able to support my child? And that's something that as a parent, we should all be really worried about, because that could be your kid at any moment. So yeah, I mean, I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of my family and everything we've gone through.